If you were to ask me, Kaori, would you buy a new home or a resale home in this current climate? Which would you choose? My answer to you is, are you buying a home this year? Well, I've got great news for you because I will be sharing with you my 10 tips on how to get the best deal for new and resale homes. Let's start with new build. Number 1, hire a buyer's agent that is knowledgeable about new home sales. Did you know that it costs you nothing to get representation when purchasing a new home? So why not hire a buyer's agent that could help you through the whole process, that is knowledgeable and experienced? The buyer's agent will know the right questions to ask the new builder and will be able to negotiate on your behalf so you could get a lot of incentives that they're currently offering. Number 2, builder incentives. Are the builders offering any incentives? This may be your closing costs, which is approximately 3% of your purchase price. That could be given by the builder to set off some of your costs. On top of that, new home sales are currently running specials where they're offering additional incentives. Maybe they're willing to buy down the interest rates since interest rates have gone up significantly this year. Most recently, I went under a contract for a new home sale here in Summerlin, and I was able to negotiate 6% total, 3% towards closing costs and additional incentives to also lower down the interest rate. In addition, I've also had builders offer additional incentives such as flooring upgrades, appliance packages, and even window coverings. So let's talk about that. In order to upgrade your flooring, let's say you wanted to rip out all the carpet downstairs and replace it with tile or hardwood flooring. That's obviously an additional cost. Now, what if the builder was able to cover that flooring upgrade in the amount of $10,000 to $25,000? That's great credit that you could use on this flooring upgrade, wouldn't you think? In addition, builders are offering incentives like the appliance packages. Appliance packages include your washer, dryer, and refrigerator. You have to remember that when you buy a new build, appliances does not come with the house. So that's additional cost for you. When you buy a new home, it does not come with these appliances that you will see in the model homes. So you have to keep in mind that you have to purchase your own refrigerator, washer, and dryer. So if the builder is offering you an appliance package in the amount of anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, wouldn't you want to take advantage of that? And lastly, window coverings. Whether it's blinds or shutters or maybe drapery based on your personal choice, builders are currently offering some credit towards window coverings. Anything that the builders could offer as a credit towards an improvement of your home, that would be considered a builder's incentive. Number 3, lender incentives. Based on the builder, each builder may or may not have a lender partner, and in some cases it might actually be the same parent company as the builder. If you choose to work with the builder's preferred lender, you may qualify to get additional incentives from the lender. Ask your realtor and your buyer's agent to ask these questions on your behalf. We understand that you have builder incentives, but are there additional lender incentives that the lender may be interested in contributing to the purchase price of your new home? Number 4, cash incentives. Whether you're purchasing a new build or a resale home, cash is golden. So you have a lot more leverage when it comes to cash purchases. You can negotiate a lower base price, and the benefit for a builder or a seller when it comes to a cash purchase is that you waive the appraisal process. When you waive the appraisal process, that means you have a shorter time frame in closing. So as a builder, if they have an inventory home, wouldn't they want to sell it quickly to a cash buyer that could close in 2 weeks versus a finance deal that may take 30 days or 45 days? Comment below. Number 5, design credits. Definitely negotiate for design credits. Every line item on the purchase price of your new home is negotiable. Design credits will go towards any of your design upgrades that you want to make as far as selections of your flooring, your cabinets, your hardware, your staircase, etc., based on your new home purchase agreement. I recently went under contract with a new home sales representative that was offering anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 in design credit. Now that's a lot of money considering that this home was in the mid $500,000. What do you think? Wouldn't you want design credit for your home? Number 6, lot premium. Lot premium ranges based on each community. I've seen anything from $0 to about $5,000 per lot premium, up to the highest I've seen so far is about $250,000, based on whether the lot is in a desirable part within the community. Maybe it's in a cul-de-sac, or maybe it's one of the bigger lots in the community, or maybe it's elevated with some views. Maybe it's strip views, maybe it's mountain views, and based on your location, it might be some waterfront views. Lot premiums are added on top of the base price, and that is also negotiable too. Number 7, spec home. Do you know what a spec home is? It's a speculation home where the builder has decided what the popular upgrades have been for this particular floor plan and have made all the structural and design upgrades based on the preference of all of their buyers in that particular community. Now, there's a lot to negotiate when it comes to spec homes because a lot of these spec homes are ready to go and move-in ready. So it's like another listing on the MLS, but for these spec homes, builders are inclined to sell these homes much quicker than other homes because some of these homes are move-in ready and turnkey for some of these families that may want a new home but don't have the patience to wait for the build time. Now, build time right now is ranging anywhere from 6 months to 8 months on average. And it's very interesting to me because a lot of my new home sales this year have experienced delays. So originally the builders would tell us that it would be a 6 to 8 month build time. But what I'm experiencing personally with my clients are build time is anywhere from about 8 to 12 months plus. Depending on the community and the builder, we've experienced some delays. And if you have the flexibility, great, but maybe you don't have the flexibility and you want to move in right away into a new home. Spec home may be the answer for you. Before we move to resale, yes, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. But if you do, it'll help me spread this video to people like yourself that may need tips on how to get the best deals when purchasing a home this year, whether it's new or resale. If you're wondering who I am, konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist, helping you find your new home. No matter where you're buying in the United States or globally, I could help you guide you in any market. Now let's move on to resale. Resale shares some of the similarities that I've shared with you as far as tips when it comes to a new home. For example, you have to hire a buyer's agent to represent you when you purchase a resale home. You do not want to work directly with the listing agent or directly with the seller if you have the ability to hire a buyer's agent. And here's why. You want to make sure you have representation. When you get representation, that buyer's agent is going to fight for you. That buyer's agent will know all the questions to ask so that you're positioned in a way to win. Cash purchases, like in new home sales, have leverage. Cash is golden. You could waive your appraisal and you could close much faster than a finance deal. So in most cases, sellers prefer the cash transaction when compared to a finance deal. Number 8, closing costs. Closing costs are roughly 3% of the total purchase price. And that includes fees such as taxes, title, escrow, all the fees that are involved in closing this transaction of your purchase. If you asked me last summer when we had multiple offer situations to request closing costs to a seller, I would say, buyer, I do not recommend it because we're going to be in a multiple offer situation and none of these buyers are asking for closing costs, right? Now, with the shift in marketplace, the landscape has changed. More and more buyers are asking for closing costs. And it could be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 to even $30,000 into closing costs, remembering that it's usually about 3% of the total purchase price. And in most cases, sellers are saying yes. Most recently, I saw some statistics on Keeping Current Matters that 32% of sellers have agreed to some sort of a contribution towards closing costs. So that's great for the buyers right now, right? If sellers could contribute to any of their closing costs, that's just less money out of your pocket. Number 9, 2-1 buy down. 2-1 buy down program is when the seller will contribute to lower the interest rate 2 points the first year and 1 point the second year. So let me give you an example. Interest rate right now is at 7%. If seller contributes to lower your interest rate by 2% the first year, your interest rate goes down to 5%. Then for your second year, it's a 1% buy down, so your interest rate from 7% goes down to 6%. And then for the rest of your loan, lifetime, it will be at 7%. And this is a great incentive because sellers are being mindful of the high monthly mortgage payments, and they want to help and get you kick-started with the lower interest payments when you first move into your new home. And number 10, negotiating on the purchase agreement. There are so many items in the purchase agreement that you can now negotiate on, where in the hot market you weren't really able to because you were competing with a multiple offer situation. There are many things you can negotiate now on the purchase agreement, starting with the purchase price of your home. Last summer, when it was a seller's market, it was very, very hard and almost impossible to negotiate on the price. A lot of these multiple offer situation was basically competing on the purchase price of the home. And a lot of times these buyers were offering more than list price. But now you can negotiate and offer a purchase price that is lower than the list price. And I've had many sellers accept a price that was lower than their list price because the market has shifted and the buyer's pool has shrunken significantly. A couple other things that you can negotiate within the purchase agreement is home warranty. Home warranty usually paid by the seller, but in the hot seller's market, sellers were waiving that and was having the buyers pay for it. Or the buyers will waive the home warranty, which I personally don't recommend because you want to make sure your home is protected after the closing of the sale. Home warranties ranges in price. I've seen as little as $680 all the way to $2,000, $3,000 based on the purchase price of your home, but this is something that I would make sure that the seller pays instead of you. If you were to ask me, Kaori, would you buy a new home or a resale home in this current climate? Which would you choose? My answer to you is a new home, and particularly a spec home. And that's exactly what I did 2 years ago. And here's why. When you purchase a spec home, there's a lot of room to negotiate, especially in this current climate. Builders are trying to get rid of these spec homes because they want to get into contract with other homes that would take a longer lead time to build. So when it comes to spec homes, these homes are ready to go and move-in ready. In my situation, I needed something move-in ready, and I also wanted a new build for my family because we wanted to get a bigger home with more space because my in-laws were going to be moving in with us. I decided to buy a next-gen suite. So that was very important to me. One thing to consider though is that when you purchase a new build, your backyard comes as a dirt. So you do need to fix that up, and that's additional budget that you need to keep in mind because based on your HOA, you might have 6 months to a year to finish your backyard. And whether you want to just add landscaping and rocks or you want to go all fancy and build a pool, you have to be mindful of that additional budget to finish your backyard in that certain timeline. I also choose new build because when you purchase a new home, everything is brand new. You have brand new appliances, brand new flooring. The house has never been lived in. For more videos about home buying, make sure you check out my playlist. I'd love to hear from you. Based on my tips, would you buy a new build or a resale home? Comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and see you on the next one.